Riddler.
The Riddler's origin and his personality, to a degree, always seems to change from every interpretation. He basically is Edward Nygma from the comic books on to the movies and animation, but they've always done a little bit of tweaking here and there to kind of make the character a little more current or give him more of a connection to Batman.
The casting of Jim Carrey as the Riddler after his performance in The Mask and a lot of stuff he had been doing on In Living Color, he could really become that kind of rubber-bodied character wearing the spandex, running around with the question marks all over him.
Jim Carrey's performance as the Riddler was truly one of the great performances I've seen of a comic book villain. I think he took the elements of the comic book. There was what Frank Gorshin had brilliantly done in the TV series and made something really quite unique out of it.
That's not gonna be good for me. I need an answer now. I think I deserve it.
I'm sorry, Ed, then the answer is no.
We had the license to basically decide for the first time how the Riddler became the Riddler. So that was like this privilege, like, oh, nobody else has done this. We get to define it.
I thought the idea that he was somebody who worked for Bruce Wayne, yet was vastly unappreciated and held back, not necessarily by Wayne himself, but by the corporate system, was a very interesting way to go.
He's quite brilliant in his field. He ends up getting fired, and so it's kind of revenge, but he also has a desire for Bruce Wayne's approval, and it kind of drives him a little crazy.
You were supposed to understand.
You see in Jim's eyes, you see the change, the flip over. Okay, I love this man, now I hate him. I'm now your enemy.
I'll make you understand.
And it's a beautifully played moment by Jim. Just beautiful.
He nailed it. Exactly as we imagined it.
Yeah.
He's a sycophant, you know, he's like this stalker almost. And he's completely obsessed with Bruce Wayne. He loves the guy, you know, / hates him. It's about seeing somebody who is the guy that you'd love to be and resenting him for it, you know, and that's how it basically, you know, snowballs into this sick fantasy.
This is your brain on the box. This is my brain on the box. Does anybody else feel like a fried egg?
So he's sucking Gotham's brainwaves. He's devouring people's IQ. And so he just becomes a mega intellect, although he's mad, you know, so I mean, intellect with madness is kind of a fun combination.
Like the jacket? It keeps me safe when I'm jogging at night.
He's not a very physical guy, except for he's very flamboyant.
Trick!
He's got a little touch of Fred Astaire, a panache, a joie de vivre. But he's not gonna hurt anybody with his fists, but he'll pick up a rock. That's where you have to be careful. It's just a great character because it just takes on different forms, and he gets so full of energy and evil power that you know, you just can't help but love playing that. It's just amazing.
He rehearses and practices harder than anybody I've ever known. And when he comes to do the scene, it's all spontaneous, but within parameters that he's really worked out. His facial expressions, his body movements, how he uses the cane, how he uses his face. He's extraordinarily professional.
You know, it's not who has the answers, it's who knows the questions.
Our kind of day.
Harvey Dent was his name before he fell into villainy. And he was a district attorney in Gotham. And he actually had a rather good working relationship with the Batman.
And when Boss Maroni, who is the sort of, you know, mafia don of Gotham City, threw acid in Harvey Dent's face and turned him into a psychotic, schizophrenic, he became a criminal.
He is a torn and interesting character because he was once a friend of Bruce Wayne's and was once a crusading district attorney and had so much good in him that to see him horribly scarred and really driven insane really brings a whole layer to his character development.
It's someone who has a close connection with Bruce Wayne, and someone who, based on the fact that he wants to see justice done in Gotham City, will allow Batman, kind of a blind eye to operate. And then when he's scarred, it's like, this bitter payback, like I allowed you to operate in the city, I looked the other way, and now look what's happened to me as a result of this. Okay, now I'm your worst nightmare.
Became everything that he shouldn't have been. And ultimately, Batman could have went down that road too. It could have went to the excessive vigilante side, where he became just as bad as the criminals he fought. But he chose to hold himself back. Harvey did not.
Nothing better than live bait to trap a bat.
There's the wild card aspect of Two-Face, the flipping of the coin to decide whether or not he's going to do good or evil. That's something else that's wildly divergent, and it's a wonderful plot tool for characters in storytelling, because you don't know how the coin flip is going to turn out and how it's going to affect how the story is being told.
I was a great fan of the comic book. As a child, Harvey Two-Face appeared in 1943. I was born in 46. In the sort of narrowly specialized area of Harvey Two-Face, I became a Bob Kane scholar and spoke to Bob about Harvey's background and did a good deal of research. Of course, Harvey is all about duality, Having said that, we now have a firm grasp of the obvious, and that's really all that's required.
Yeah!